Welcome everyone. Welcome back to another best of 5, this time for the Inglourious Bastard tournament hosted by the BBB clan, specifically El Joker. And today we have Central Scrutinizer here versus Carbonara Respector, or known as his current year, or known as the biggest fan of Hellebron. And yeah, this is gonna be a battle between two great players. As you can see on the stream thumbnail, we have we have Central Scrutinizer represented by Gelt, and its current year, he is after all a big Hellebron fan, so yes, Hellebron. But yeah, we are just gonna wait for these guys to get ready and start the battle. Right now, they're probably gonna do some picks and bans for now, but I hope you guys will be enjoying this this best of 5 series. Not sure what's gonna happen here. I haven't seen its current year play for a long time. I mean, he has been playing more frequently in the recent months, but yeah, he's also a streamer on Twitch, and also has a YouTube channel if I remember correctly. But he streams rather rarely these days, so, but yeah, if you're interested in like occasional streams of like of him playing tournaments, go ahead and check out his channel. But yeah, that's gonna be okay. Anyways, the other player, Central Scrutinizer, all I know is that he is a very good Empire player. Other than that, not sure what to talk about. But yeah. Anyways, I hope everyone's excited about the new. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I hope everyone's excited about the new DLC coming next month. We are gonna have the. I mean, the new trailer is probably gonna be out on Tuesday News Days after all. The whole started off as a meme on the Reddit, I think, and then it became like an official corporate thing for a CA to just release news on Tuesday these days. It's official now. But yeah, I haven't checked out the teasers or anything because honestly, I have not been the most enthusiastic person with Total War Warhammer. The whole meta was a bit stagnant recently and all. So I was just kind of playing it on and off, and in tournaments specifically, especially when the Grail cavalry has been limited and not and instead of having your opponent spam like a ton of those things on the battlefield. Plus, it's just the opponents are a bit tougher, a bit more fun to play against. But yeah, it's current year bans in the BBB channel. Yo, stream. Yo, man. But yeah, oh right, I need to I don't think I need to tag anyone here. So we are, I hope everyone knows we are live. And yeah. Let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Hello, Fekit. Nice to see you here. We are just still in the picks and bans phase for now. Actually, let us just see whether we can like set up some. Check out the teasers on Twitter or something. Are those teaser videos on the YouTube channel of Total War? I do wonder. They are not, and I did not have. They are not on the Twitter. They are not on YouTube. They're on. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can use Twitter to find. Next. Let me just log into Twitter and see if I can watch the teaser. Okay. Oh shit. Right, there's actually leaks about the whole DLC anyways. So might as well just speculate while we have time. Now we do have some mazes on the cafe part of the teaser and a lot of... we have... Oh, we have the Jade Lions. Okay, cool. Wait, are those Jade Lions? No, those are Dragon Heads. But yeah, it's teased. I mean, the leak says that there will be Jade Lions or shit. Or something like that coming up with the DLC. Let me see if I can find Stone Lions. Cause like I suppose that the Jade Lions are gonna based on the design of Stone Lions in China, where we usually have like a couple of Stone Lions stood in front of the mansions or like palaces or anything important, where those are like the spiritual guardians of like the property or something like that. But yeah. It's not gonna be like lions where we see usual. It's not gonna be a realistic depiction of lions. It's probably gonna be something like Can I get the picture? Oh, you can't stay long. Don't worry about it. Like, in fact, you can just come back after like you're done with your real life stuff and check out the archives or the stream recording anyways. But yeah, well, we can check out the pictures of this expected units of Cathay later. We can check out the picks and bans of the match for now while we're at it. So Scrutinizer banning Bretonnian first, and then its current year went for banning Cathay Empire and Ogres playing Warriors of Chaos. And then Scrutinizer picking Dark Elves. Dark Elves versus Warriors of Chaos. I already feel like its current year is on a bit of a back foot right now because of the healing available to Dark Elves and of course Law of Soul Stealer. Hey Barfrat, yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for checking in. I did not watch the Clan War. I was out yesterday, meeting an old friend of mine, traveling and whatnot. So I was not able to like check out the streams as it was going. But yeah, I will check out the archives later. Right now, let's focus on the battle for the next spot in the. Oh boy. I thought I'm gonna see some interesting build, but okay, never mind. But yeah, let's see what happens. Interesting, and this is also very interesting. But yeah, Scrutinizer. I'm not actually that familiar with his style. Actually, like I know he's pretty good at his kite, if I remember correctly, and like. One of the few players that can beat Dark Elves with Empire, with an Empire army build. Usually, I just see Empire struggles hard against the Dark Elves. Recently, I figured out another way to counter the Dark Elves. So against players at a similar skill level as me, and or somebody with slightly worse skills, I can probably fight okay with the Empire build I came out with. But yeah. Generally, he is pretty damn good with his kite with the wind wagons somehow. Like he can use war wagons to win a fight against Dark Elves, but I can't. So you know, there's a pretty big skill gap between me and him. Yeah. Oh, it seems like both players have set up their army, so we just unblock everything, and then we can. Start checking out the army builds. Scrutinizer on the left here with the Dark Elves and its current year going for Warriors of Chaos on the right. Now Dark Elves going for an interestingly wide army build for Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, with 5 bleak swords mixed in with a couple Dark Riders, one of them with shields, one of them do not. 3 Witch Elves, 2 Cold One Knight, and also a Supreme Sorceress of Lore of Soul Stealer. On the other side there, Warriors of Chaos, we have Valkia the Bloody leading the Warriors army, and then let's see, we also have Sorcerer of Tinge. Interesting. It's probably gonna be Blue Fire spam if you're going for Tinge. Wait, he is not on any disc. Actually, he is a Lore of Metal Sorcerer with Searing Doom, Final Transmutation, Skull of Catan for that spell mastery for extra damage for that Final Transmutation, boosting up that spell mastery and costing more damage with those spells, as well as the nothing else pretty much. Just the item, single use item, or is it ability? Single use item plus Searing Doom and Final Transmutation. Main army, we have a line of Marauders, a lot of Marauders. Wait, is that 6 Marauders? No, that's 1 Chaos Warriors, 2 Chaos Warriors. So 4 Marauders with 2 Warriors. Basically a bunch of chaff with a couple stronger anchor points. And then on the mobility side, a whole lot of Marauder horses, 2 of them with throwing axes, 2 of them without. And then the Hellstriders of Slaanesh coming in with Hell Scourges and not the regular variant. Just trying to get more melee defense, I assume. And also a single Chaos Chariot, and that's it for... Oh wait, no, there's also a Warhounds of Poison, and that's it for the army boats. Now, oh wait, no, there's still double Manticore in the skies, trying to really goon out that Supreme Sorceress of Soul Stealer, I assume. But yeah, that's it for the army builds. Now, let's just wait for them to get ready up and start duking it out. They are actually picking those armies really fast, because normally I expect 10 minutes to 15 minutes of army picks and bends plus the army selection, but this time we were 10 minutes and we're done. So yeah, it's pretty good speed. We just need them to lay out the formation. One of them has ready out, both of them has ready out, and then we shall begin. No artillery on site, so each army is just gonna... No, actually, I was going to say both armies are gonna rush towards each other, but it seems that the Warriors of Chaos are more in a bit of a hurry to get into melee combat, because they know that they can't outrange those repeater crossbows. Repeater crossbows now unloading into the closest target they can find. Some of those shots going into the Frail Manticore, chipping away some of its health, but quickly they will start to need to move back as the Chaos Warhounds are approaching, trying to pressure those Dark Elf skirmishing cavalry. Now, Chaos Sorcerer of Tinge is also moving in, but there's no targets for him to use his spells just yet, while the Chaos Warriors and Marauders are all just marching forward, trying to absorb all those ammo, preventing them from shooting at things that actually matter, like the Manticores and perhaps the Chariots as well. Now, without any spears, the Chariots should be able to deal with the Bleak Swords just fine. But the problem is that the Cold One Knights are here, and they are surging out hard, just trying to run down some of these Marauders with the help of the Supreme Sorcerers of Dark Magic, doing some nice impact damage, but quickly they start moving out because they're also taking damage, being dragged into melee combat, while the Marauder horses are also moving in to just chip away their health with projectiles instead of melee combat. Now, repeater crossbows have moved in, but noticing that its current year pulled back the Marauder horses and forcing Central Scrutinizer to move back the Dark Riders, who were trying to move up and shoot at the Marauder horses, but got caught in some Chaos Warriors and took some minor damage. On the other side there, the Marauder horsemen are performing a slight enveloping maneuver, just trying to get their sights on Witch Elves and start chipping them away. Now in disguise there, double Ferromentacle and Valkyrie the Bloody trying to goon out Supreme Sorceress, but that set up a perfect opportunity for a Soul Stealer hitting all 3 units, and remember there are no healing on the Warriors of Chaos side, so whatever damage they took, that is final. They cannot heal it back up. On the side there, Marauders are screening out the Dark Elf Cavalry, and the Marauder horses will be pulling back alongside some Chaos Chariots. Koan Knights are maneuvering around, probably just gonna go for a rear charge or side charge, and the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows are moving in to shoot at the Chaos Ferromantacles as well. However, the front line is not going in the favor of the Dark Elf army right now, with their Witch Elves, Bleak Swords all taking significant damage from the Chaos Warriors and Marauders. The Marauders do have the numbers advantage outweighing the Bleak Swords, so the Bleak Swords being a rather fragile unit, having slightly less HP as their Elven Infantry do have a weaker constitution. They are not going to be holding for long against the horde of Chaos Infantry. Witch Elves are moving up, but there are no good targets for them to engage right now. They can kill off Marauders for sure, but then the Chaos Warriors are heavily armored and they lack the AP to dish out the damage. Murderous Prowess has popped, and ooh, a juicy Soul Stealer hitting so many units. Valkyria, the Chaos Chariots, and the Chaos Warriors, Hell's Riders as well. I do think that Dark Elves might have a bit of advantage so far. Let me just have a look at the... Okay, we have... The stream is going just fine. Nobody's having like audio issues and shit. So, but yeah. But I do say that like the balance of power is in the favor of the Warriors of Chaos, but there are still so many Dark Riders with repeater crossbows on the field, while there are still quite a few Soul Stealer available for the Supreme Sorceress to just drain away the health of the Double Manticore and Valkyria herself. And one of the Ferromentacle rampaging into the ground, being aimed by multiple Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, taking significant damage from those crossfire, and down to roughly 1/3 of his HP. It's probably not gonna run out of the rampage in time, and the Dark Elves can easily just drag those single entities into melee combat, now dropping... Ooh, I thought it's gonna be a Soul Stealer, but no, it's a massive, massive final transmutation. Is that a high spell intensity one? It might be, I'm not sure. Where is the... Wait, where is the... Ooh, hitting multiple Dark Elf units and doing stupid amount of damage. Already nuked away 40% of HP on the Supreme Sorceress of Dark Magic, but she is returning in kind, dropping a Soul Stealer, draining away one of the Manticore, and Valkyria herself also taking some damage. She needs to pop up her Demon Shield to just make herself immune to the Soul Stealer, but no, it's probably not going to be in time. Searing Doom Bombardment, thinning out the remaining Chaos Knights. While on the far side, there some Marauders have regrouped, rallied, and will be moving back into combat, while the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows shooting at whatever targets they can find. Let's see if the skull has been used. Indeed, it has been used, and the Chaos Sorcerer has taken some noticeable damage, especially when shot up by some of the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. However, they seem to be a bit slow in terms of running away, and some of them might just be caught up by the Chaos Warhounds who are accelerating on the charge, and once they got hit, they will get slowed down and get dragged down in melee combat by those Warhounds. However, there are some Dark Riders who are trying to screen away the Warhounds and should be able to do so. Searing Doom once again dropped on top of the Dark Riders, but they have moved out of the way. Very nice micro from Central Scrutinizer. Here we can see that the balance of power is indeed in the favor of the Dark Elves right now, as the healing from the Soul Stealer comes in, and Valkyria being isolated, ganged up on by the Koa Knights and Supreme Sorcerers of Dark Magic. For some reason the music has stopped, but I assume you guys just need that background fan music anyway, so it shouldn't be a big problem, as Valkyria is almost on her last leg of health, really. She is being gooned by a bunch of armor-piercing cavalry, and she is really bad at dealing with all these being ganged up on, honestly. A point-blank breath attack has dropped her down to 600 HP, more stuff surrounding her. She has popped her Demon Shield to just tank out the damage, plus a Soul Stealer bombarding the Koa Knights. But honestly, once the Demon Shield is dropped, she'll get destroyed in combat by anything that has armor piercing. So there goes Valkyria, and soon the rest of the Chaos Army will also follow suit. The Chaos Chariot was charging those Bleak Swords, but alas, that is going to be the end of the Chaos Army. For the army performances, we can probably see a lot of damage. Yep, a lot of damage from the Soul Stealer Sorceress. The Cohen Knights did some good work here, screening away the enemy infantry and cavalry, just using their mass and armor piercing to pin down enemy units. In the end, surrounding Valkyria the Bloody and beating her up. She's just not good at fighting blobs of enemies. She is more like, of a duelist, and her knockback and her splash damage attack area of effect was rather limited, if I remember correctly. So not a lot of damage was dealt by Valkyria. The Chaos Sorcerer of Tinge with the metal magic is pretty dang good though. The Skull of Catan plus all those Searing Dooms plus Final Transmutation did some significant damage. That one Soul Stealer, not Soul Stealer, gosh, I've been mixing them up, but that one Final Transmutation was really devastating, but not devastating enough to for the Supreme Sorceress, really, because of the Soul Stealer healing. The Witch Elves did well, just blend through all kinds of infantry. Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, they didn't really do that much damage. They were mostly shooting at Chaos Pharaoh Manticore, who has scaly skins to mitigate any incoming missile damage, or they were shooting at just Marauder in general, who has shields. Marauder horses probably did great, but let's just check. The Bleak Swords did meh. Some of them earned back most of their value or more, but not quite enough to carry this game. On the other side, we have Valkyria did pretty meh damage. The lack of healing really hurts her, really, when hit by Soul Stealer or any direct damage spell. Even with her spell resistance, it was not enough. Tinge Sorcerer of Metal did fine, and Double Manticore is probably not the greatest choice when you're fighting Dark Elves. Against Dark Elves, you want a very strong single entity who can duel the Black Dragon Sorceress, and possibly with healing to counteract any health drain effects like the Soul Stealer. But unfortunately, the double Furrow Manticore plus Valkyria the Bloody means that Soul Stealer can maximize their value, draining away 3 units at once, multiplying the damage dealt to the warriors of Chaos Army. Health Riders of Slanesh, ever since they got nerfed, they have been kind of shit. Chaos Warhounds did meh, and the Marauder horses did quite meh. The Dark Elves did a really good job at screening away the Marauder Cavalry, really, preventing them from doing too much damage to the Dark Riders, preventing them from counter-skirmishing effectively, and the Chariots didn't do much damage, not a lot of good targets to hit, and whenever they try to charge in, they will be limited by the Koan Knight, while the infantry here simply can't deal with all the Soul Stealers. Like, they do not provide anything. They don't really provide much against the Dark Elves. Against the Dark Elves, it's probably better off just to spam Marauder infantry to overwhelm those Dark Elf front 9, really. But yeah, that's it for this battle. We are moving on to the next, and I assume the rest of the players, the 2 players, are picking out their armies, and yeah. Coops, I love how accurate her trailer was for how she plays in game versus infantry. Yeah, indeed. Actually, it reminds me of a meme, so maybe I'll just make a meme out of Valkyria's trailers and some age-old memes. But yeah, I see why. Okay, let's see. Both players are now in picks and bans, so I'll just see if I can just find some Stone Lions. Why is everything Amazon? Gosh. I do wonder what the... Okay, so... Can I... Okay, sorry about that. I'm just... You know what? Okay, never mind. That's not happening. But yeah. I'll figure out the technical issues later. But yeah, GG to both players here. We will see what both players are gonna do. And yeah, I am hoping that the Harmony will get reworked in the next patch, honestly, because right now Harmony is a pain to play against in land battles, in both land battles and in I assume in domination as well. It's just weak in domination, but it's hard to play it. So yeah, it's hard to play it in domination. And if the Harmony goes by the same way it is, then I assume CA might just introduce some mobile Harmony by providing like ranged skirmishing cavalry with Jade Warrior crossbow cavalry or some shit like that. That would be awkward when Cathay can have Harmony wherever they want. I do hope that that's not gonna be the case here, and but I do want to see Cathay with a newer playstyle. They might just provide some Jade Warriors with great weapons, which is basically a reskinned Jade Warriors, given how they are introducing maces in like heavy big hammers in the teaser thingy. I assume the tinge units are kind of people have expectations of tinge units because they already have the armies readied up. Ooh. Wait, what? Why is the tinge teaser in the middle of a freaking Empire City? That makes no sense. Given how they were hyping up the Cathay versus tinge kind of a rivalry. Yeah, that makes no sense. But at least we're getting Baba Yaga and Kislev, so there's that. The walking cauldron or something like that. Anyways, we have a bit of a we have an interesting matchup now. Central Scrutinizer banning Empire. Wait, no. It's currently banned Empire. So Central Scrutinizer banned Beastman, Tomb King, Slanesh, and Ogre King. Beastman, Tomb Kings, and Slanesh, picking Ogre Kingdoms. It's current year picking Norska, which is actually a pretty good build, like pretty good faction to fight against the ogres. Because Norska also have healing and they have a lot of anti-large options in the form of Skin Wolves and Javelin Hunters. Both are very good at killing freaking both are very good at killing Ogre Kingdom. So we'll see what Central Scrutinizer are gonna do in this matchup. But I don't know. This might be a rough fight for his current year's Norska. And he still hasn't used his favorite Crone Hellebrand yet, so let's see. But unfortunately, Crone Hellebrand isn't exactly a competitive lord. She is good, but it's usually all you see for Dark Elves these days are either Malice or the Sorceress of Soul Stealer on the Black Dragon. You don't even see Malekith anymore because he's so freaking expensive. But because of this, I actually find that it's easier to counter the Dark Elves strategy now, because you have basically one lord that you need to deal with, and that is the that's either I mean, against Malice and against the Dark Elf Black Dragon Sorcerers, you can use some like common ways to deal with them. Like, they can both be dealt with by a very good duelist. So yeah. Anyways, a very good tanky duelist. Let me put it that way. But yeah. Wait, no. That's not the... Yeah, army blocker. There we go. But yeah. Anyways, army builds. Central Scrutinizer going super duper wide with 4 Iron Guts, 4 dual weapon Ogre Bulls, 4 regular Ogre Bulls, 2 Saber Tusk packs, and 4 Nobbler Trappers and a single Nobbler. Now for the leadership, it's gonna be a Great Maul Master, probably just with only Troll Guts and Troll Guts only. On the other side, Norska going for 2 Marauder Hunters with Javelins, 2 Marauder Champions for a bit of a sturdier backbone in the front line, 5 Marauders as a chaffy front line, and 4 Skin Wolves, 1 with armor, possibly with some extra funds. Yeah, let's see. Skin Wolves, but 4 Skin Wolves. Fuck. We need to stop bringing 4 of these Skin Wolves. Just because oh, one of them is indeed armored, the Maws of Savagery, with additional armor. Wait, what? Yeah, with additional armor. Yep, with additional armor and frenzy. They're pretty good. I haven't seen these guys in a while. You kind of just bring Skin Wolves in general for their regeneration and physical resistance and anti-large, and rarely the Maws of Savagery, but I guess their armor piercing can be pretty good against a Crusher Cavalry or something like that. Leading the army, Throg the Trollkin coming in with only Fight or Die to buff up those melee attack stats and punch through enemy defenses more effectively. Shaman Sorcerer of Fire with Burning Head and Cascading Fire Cloak for additional melee stats. Burning Head is definitely there to clear out those Nobler Infantry, and we also have the Beasts of Tashnar. I would expect a Lore of Metal for their Plague of Rust and Final Transmutation, but no, it seems that I am kind of surprised right now by the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. So yeah, let's see how the players are gonna go with this matchup. I am intrigued. Like, as the Ogre Kingdoms, I've been losing this matchup a lot of times. Because Norska is just pretty dang good against the Ogre Kingdoms with their whole Monster Hunter gimmick. After all the Ogre, like, most of the Ogre armies is indeed monsters. Now, for the Slothmaster, there is indeed nothing else other than the Trogas, not even the Bloody Cleaver. So, he's gonna have to stay out of melee completely. Not bringing anything at all. Like, he doesn't even have Belly Slapper for debuff, he doesn't have healing from Bloody Cleaver, so if he gets into melee, it's not going to help much, and it also exposes him to even more danger that he cannot heal back from, other than wasting magic on a Trollgut on himself. Anyways, Nobler Trappers will move up and start chipping away the health of the Marauders. That should make quick work of them, especially if a fallout from the Ogre Bulls are gonna plow them straight in the face. Now, Iron Guts is not a bad choice against Skin Wolf spam because they have their armor to tank out the damage from the anti-large Skin Wolves, who doesn't have the greatest armor piercing, but the Maws of Savagery doesn't care. They have armor piercing and has anti-large, and they will shred through the Iron Guts. But it seems that they themselves are taking quite a bit of charge impact damage from the Iron Guts as well. You can see that they are quickly dropping in terms of their HP, while on the other side there, the Ogre army is going so freaking wide. The Norscan army is struggling to hold back. Javelins are destroying some of these Ogre Bulls, but there are so many Ogre Bulls in the front line. With the fire support from the Nobler Trappers, the Marauders are simply not holding long enough. You can see that a lot of them has already been destroyed down to half health, and one of them even already broken back. Saber Tusk packs moving in to silence the Marauder Hunters with Javelins, and with their great melee weapon strength, they should do some good damage against the lightly armored Marauders. Now, some of the dual weapon Ogre Bulls have breached the front line, but the Skin Wolves are here to respawn. Maws of Savagery being surrounded by a lot of stuff here. 2 Iron Guts beating them down. But they're supported by the Beasts of Tashnar, so they're kind of holding right now, but just not doing enough damage. However, in the front line though, some of the Skin Wolves managed to beat back the Ogre Bulls and push back some Nobler Trappers. Balance of power is slightly in the favor of Norska right now, as the Ogre's Bull Rush is faltering a bit. A lot of the Ogre Bulls have taken way too much damage from the Anti-Large and also the Missile Firepower, so they have been pushed back. Iron Guts are still holding, but so is the Maws of Savagery, still beating up a bunch of Ogre Bulls. No, these are, yeah, Ogre Bulls plus Iron Guts. They have been overwhelmed and surrounded for this entire time, but they have earned back most of their value. Not quite earning back all their value just yet, but that's more than enough to just keep tanking right now. Just hang on by a thread, but they are indeed hanging on. Ogre Bulls and Nobbler Trappers have been hit by a burning head. This might just be the last straw to wreck these Ogre Bulls and force them to rout here, as the Skin Wolves have been dishing out some good anti-large damage with the support of the Marauder Infantry. More Marauders moving in and will be supporting this fight as their physical resistance has been activated by the Rage ability of the Norscan army. On the far side there, Frog is doing just fine. He is surrounded by Iron Guts and Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, but none of them has anti-large, so Frog with his regeneration and pretty solid melee stats, 60 attack, 50 defense, is not having much trouble for now. Now at the back there, Marauders are pushing back Nobbler Trappers. Nobbler Trappers can pretty much just sit, like they should have just sit there and fight them back, because they do have that anti-infantry bonus to, plus their point blank shots can help them finish off their enemy units. Now Marauder champions have held the line. Yes, they're fighting stuff with armor piercing, the Iron Guts, but they do have quite enough melee defenses to hold the line for a bit longer here for the Skin Wolves, who have been routed earlier, to come back and now start engaging once more, charging straight into combat and start beating down these poor Ogre Bulls. Iron Guts are still fighting and will soon finish off the Marauder champions, but that bought enough time, I assume, for the Skin Wolves to recover and fight once again, going for a second round. At the back there, Beast of Tashnar has been routed off. Same goes for the Most of Savagery, but let's see how much damage they dealt. 1,200 gold, not too shabby, while Frog is still beating down those poor Iron Guts here, struggling to do much damage against Frog in general. Yeah, you can see that Frog is still almost full health. Actually, he is full health. Now taking some minor damage, but nothing he can't heal back up with a bit of regeneration. Norscan Marauders are moving in towards the Nobbler Trappers, who have used up almost all their ammo. Skin Wolves, due to the lack of armor piercing, are indeed struggling against the Iron Guts. So the Skin Wolves will be beaten back as a lot of their attacks have been absorbed by the Iron Guts' heavy armor. A lot of Skin Wolves are actually faltering on the field, but the balance of power is still slightly in the favor of the Norscan army, simply because Frog and the Shaman Sorcerer are still rather healthy. So right now, the Ogre's numbers game have played out quite well for them. Basically finish off the entire Norscan army, other than the single entities here. All the Skin Wolves have been routed due to themselves taking too much damage. They're kind of a bit of a glass cannon themselves, despite their physical resistance, due to their low melee defense and low armor. So with enough bodies of Ogre infantry, they are whittled down over time and were forced to pull back or even rout off all the way to the white line. Okay, the Miles of Savagery has returned and now surrounding the Slaughtermaster to beat him down. The Slaughtermaster needs to be careful here. He needs to get back to some friendly support as soon as possible, because the Miles of Savagery are indeed making short work of him. He is using a Massacre on himself. Okay, but the Miles of Savagery are still holding just fine. Their leadership, having 20 leadership, are not quite into terrifying territory just yet. So the Slaughtermaster was forced to dump in a little bit of healing to himself, a Troll Gut. And the Massacre was definitely wasted a bit here. It did boost up the weapon damage of the Slaughtermaster, but just not quite enough to even the odds against the Miles of Savagery. So a lot of these Iron Guts, Ogre Bulls and Iron Guts? Yes, one Iron Guts. And a lot of Ogre Bulls have been peeled off to deal with, try to deal with these Miles of Savagery here. And the Miles of Savagery, after taking some damage from the Slaughtermaster, is also being punished quite hard here, being overwhelmed by the Ogre Bull infantry. That's probably going to be the last we see of these. Yeah, the last we see of these regiment of renowned Skin Wolves. But over here, a little bit of Burning Head, routing the Nobbler Trappers, and probably just trying to do some damage against them, making sure they don't come back. While the rest of the Norscan army are just kind of congregating on the other side of the map. Right now is a bit of a slow phase. Both armies are just kind of reorganizing their formations before starting to march towards each other. There are some Nobbler Trappers moving in. This whole blob of Ogre troops have pushed back the Miles of Savagery, and now the Slaughtermaster will be reinforcing might be reinforcing this all these units with a bit of healing, but these Ogre Bulls might, I don't know, man. Like against Throg, this is a bit of a tall order for what remains for the Ogre Kingdoms right now. Only some battered Iron Guts is still there, although they do have 15 unit models left, so quite a bit of healing is available to them, and they can still fight pretty effectively. But all that's left are pretty much Ogre Bulls, Iron Guts, and whatnot. So the Nobbler Trappers are moving in. Okay, Throg and the rest of the armies are trying to get onto the Nobblers, but the Nobblers do not want to fight him right now. Central Scrutinizer trying to get those Nobbler Trappers into shooting distance, and or just trying to charge in with those Nobbler Trappers and fulfill the attacking rule, while the rest of the armies are just biding their time to get some healing possibly, or get their ammo expended before being forced into melee again. So Throg and his supporting Marauders are just kind of standing there because the Ogres are not quite trying to engage just yet. They are, the Marauder Champions and Marauder Infantry are chasing after the Nobbler Trappers who are running away, while the Ogre Bulls are moving in, trying to get at least having an attack order to aim at the Marauder Infantry. But once the Marauders are turning back to fight the Ogre Bulls decided, you know what, we are going to back off and let the Nobbler Trappers to fulfill attacking rule for us, as they are starting to shoot the Marauder Infantry. Now, the Marauder Champions don't really mind getting shot at, but still, that is a bit of a damage they don't really need to take. They do have heavy armor and bronze shields to block those shots, but yeah, they're still getting chipped away in terms of health here. Throg is still very healthy and might be able to carry this game, but we shall see, as the Marauders are taking substantial damage from the Ogre charge. Now, Marauder Champions are countercharging the Saber Tusk packs, and with their massive weapon strength as 46, Ogre Bulls have what? Ogre Bulls have 90 weapon strength, but the Marauder Champions are not too shabby with their weapon strength for sure, beating up a whole bunch of those Saber Tusks, and the Saber Tusks are actually gone. Okay, but unfortunately, with the Iron Guts charging in as well, with their armor piercing, yeah, with armor piercing and anti-infantry bonus, the Marauder Champions have been wrecked in that charge, leaving Throg and the Shaman Sorcerer to beat back everything that the Ogres are going to throw at them. But the Shaman Sorcerer is not enjoying this at all. Yes, he's buffed up by Fight or Die, having a little bit of a leadership stronghold right now, but Throg is taking some noticeable damage. His health is dropping, but he is fighting back hard. After all, he is anti-large with armor piercing, and put a couple big hits into the Slaughtermaster, putting him down to about a quarter of his full health, and now he'll be fighting back all these Iron Guts. But unfortunately, this 15 model Iron Guts have received a lot of healing, so yeah, this is gonna be rough for Throg. Like, he can fight, he has anti-large, armor piercing, and regeneration, but against so many units, this might still be a bit of a tall order for the Norscan army right now. A Burning Hat is dropped into this blob here, trying to lower the leadership of all these Ogre units, but they are not quite affected. Yes, there's a little bit of a minor leadership debuff, but that is not enough to wreck their leadership just yet, because Throg does not have terror. So despite their leadership dropping there for a sec and taking some minor damage from the Burning Hat, they are not too affected. But Throg receiving the Cascading Fire Cloak is pretty good, giving him additional melee defense to reduce incoming damage from all these melee attackers, and he is beating them back pretty hard, forcing them to peel off for now. But I'm pretty sure the Slaughtermaster still have 1 or 2 Trail Guts left in the back pocket, so things might still be rough. The Slaughtermaster right now is not enjoying himself, to say the least, being surrounded by Ogres who all have pretty dang good weapon strength. Now a Burning Hat would be good to just rout off this Ogre Bull, but anyways, they are shattered, and this might cause a chain rout to the surrounding Ogre Bulls and Iron Guts. So perhaps, ooh, is there, no, that the Burning Hat, the Shaman Sorcerer was thinking about a Burning Hat, but before he could have cast that spell, he was routed, and the spell cast was cancelled somehow. But either way, Throg has beaten back all these Iron Guts and Ogre Bulls. I mean, at least they're wavering right now, but still, the problem is still that one Iron Guts at the back receiving those Troll Guts. Their HP getting topped up pretty nicely. But that Troll Gut might have been better on these Iron Guts, who still have 8 unit models, but almost running out of health. While they have topped up their health, so the remaining healing are all just wasted. Now the Iron Guts are slowly trying to whittle down Frog's health, but yeah, this Iron Gut should have got those healing. Like they had 8 unit models before, but now they are down to 4 and probably will be seen off pretty soon. Now Frog that cannot do any cycle charging because right now it is he is pretty much the only unit left on the Norskin side and is still engaging. But at this point, its current unit decided it's better to just give up. Like, as the Ogre Kingdoms are slowly... I mean, Frog still has a chance, actually. I do say that Frog had a good chance of beating back all the Iron Guts, but it seems that its current year decided just to end all our suffering instead of watching everyone, watching this drawn-out fight of 2 healing units. He will do the honorable thing and concede defeat. Now, for the army performances here, the Iron Guts did surprisingly well. Their armor and just the pure width of this, the pure girth of this whole ogre army. The girthy ogres have withstood the anti-large attacks from all the skin wolves and did pretty good damage in return, earning almost double their own value on this one unit. As for the rest of the army here, the Nobler Trappers did really well overall, earning back all their values. One of them even earned back almost double their own value. So pretty good stuff with their missile attacks and anti-infantry bonus. The next patch is probably going to be gone in terms of the anti-infantry bonus, but we'll see what happens. You never know what CAA decides to do in terms of balancing. Slaughtermaster survived the battle and was the key for the Ogre Kingdoms to win this fight, while the Saber-Tusk not doing too much damage overall. Mostly just kind of swarming different positions, compromising those Javelin Hunters, who did some pretty good damage against the Ogre Bull Rush, but once the Marauder frontline crumbled under the weight of the... oh no, not the weight, but under the girth of the Ogre formations, yeah, the Marauders are pretty much done for. Now, the Marauder champions did surprisingly well with their solid melee stats and weapon strength, but in the end, due to the armor-piercing anti-large bonus of all those Iron Guts, they couldn't really hold the line in the late game. Skin Wolves did poorly this time, surprising enough. I guess the Iron Guts armor is just too much for these guys, and especially having four Iron Guts to overload them with the help of Saber-Tusk packs. Norskin Warhounds, these Beasts of Tashina did not earn back their own value, but the Malls of Savagery did. I think they cost like, what, 1,400 gold? So they did earn their worth, I think. While the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire didn't really do that much damage, I do think that Searing Doom plus Final Transmutation for the Ogre against the Ogre army would be a slightly better pick, but I guess its current year just want to clear out all the Nobblers, but there's only 4 Nobbler Trappers here, so not too many spells, not too many targets for the Burning Head to be effective. Frog could have carried the game, but I think its current year just decided to take the honorable way out. He did a lot of damage and still have a lot of gas left in the tank. Probably can deal with all these Iron Guts with the anti-large armor piercing, especially when with the occasional buff of the fight or die. But that is pretty much it. Almost 1,800 gold damage value, but that's about it. Now let me just set up the army blocker and update the scoreboard. It is 2-0 now, with Central Scrutinizer in the lead. So if its current year wants to stay in this game, he needs to win the next game. It is indeed match point now, so let's see what he will bring to the battlefield in the next battle. Now for the army picks here, I assume they are already picking. Yep, Central Scrutinizer already banning Dark Elves. Guess we're not seeing Hellebrand this battle either. As for current year, he's banning Empire Cafe and Tomb Kings playing Lizardman. This might be a risky choice, but Lizardman is indeed quite strong in the meta right now, especially with the Shredder meta. You have a Shredder and a ton of healing, and you kind of just win the game with so much HP in your one monstrous unit. So let's see how that goes. I have no idea whether it's gonna be the case here. Central Scrutinizer is still picking his army, so we are just gonna have to wait a bit. Well, I'm just gonna get some water because I am thirsty. Get a water break and then I'll be back. And I'm back. But yeah. Central Scrutinizer so far having really strong performance and on-point kiting in the first battle. In the second battle, they're a pretty solid army pick using the sheer width of the Ogre army, despite being one of the most monster-heavy roster. The Ogre armies also can field one of the widest army with their with all their Ogre Bull infantry plus their Nobblers. So, and it can actually be a very effective build against certain factions, for example the Empire, where the Empire simply do not have those kind of resources to handle so many monstrous infantry. Like, Empire focus on combined arm strategies, which means they need to focus multiple units onto a single target for maximum effect, and against a 20 stack Ogre army, it's hard to do that. Spears doesn't trade well into Ogre Bulls and will get shredded by the Ogre Charge, and everything else will get tied down by Nobblers. So and there's also like Saber Tusk, who is like going after your backline. So a full 20 stack Ogre army can be pretty rough for certain factions to deal with. Anyway, Central Scrutinizer is still picking his army, so we just kind of have to wait a bit, as his favorite Empire faction has been banned in this matchup. Like an Empire build against Lizardman would be a great trouble for the Lizard boys, but right now there is no lizards. There's no lizard hunters on the. Okay, Bretonia. This is gonna be interesting. I actually haven't seen this matchup before. It's gonna be Lizard versus Bretonia, and it's probably gonna be like Hippogriff Knights again. I forgot to check the. Actually, I forgot to check the unit bans on this one. Like, is it? Do they ban? Do they ban what? How do they ban Grail Cavalry? Let me just check. Like, they have a set of a separate rule, so I gotta. Yeah, let's see. Are they super weapons? Late game, the blah blah blah. Rules of play, flying heroes, cavalry, missile carrier. You cannot have more than one spell, no same ruin. What? They didn't. Wait, strange. They didn't say anything about Grail Cavalry, but I assume they have. I assume they would be limiting Grail Cavalry at some point, right? Wait, I'm pretty sure they say that somewhere. Okay. Okay, Grail Knights are banned. Okay, so no Grail Cavalry. Grail Guardians are limited to 2. And we probably can see Hippogriffs. Gotta check. Okay, no Grail Knights on the Bretonian side. And for the Lizardman army, it's interesting. I don't expect to see this, but we shall see what happens here. But yeah. This is an interesting pick, and definitely not a meta pick here. So let's see what happens. Like, we can expect to see Grail Guardians, but we won't see any Grail Knights. So we shall see what happens. But if its current year wants to last a little longer in the tourney, he has to win this battle now. Remember, this is match point. Central Scrutinizer has 2 victories so far, and its current year has none. So if Central Scrutinizer wins this, this will be the end of the series. But if its current year win this, we will have a 4th game. So if you want to, now is the time to place everyone's bet. If you want to see the more action, go and support its current year. But if you want to end this series ASAP or have stuff to do, then, well, Central Scrutinizer. But yeah, we shall see. Okay, let me just open up the... Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Now we wait. Now we wait for them to ready up. Alright, it seems both sides are ready. Now we can finally unblock everything on the screen. And here we are. Bretonnians going for Grail Guardians, 2 questing knights. Interesting enough, those are armor piercing options. And then we have a Royal Hippogriff Knight, Outbreak de Baudelaire, and a Lore of Life Damsel. Plus 4 archers, 2 of them with pox arrows, and like 7 peasant men at arms. 2 of them with spears and shields, 5 of them with only swords. Now for the leadership anchor of this build, we have a single terrifying Grail Reliquary, just to give the peasants immune to psychology. As for the other side here, Lizardman going for a rather narrow build, 3 Temple Gods, 1 of them the Star Chamber Guardians, 3 Sword Spears, and then we have 3 single entities, 2 of them Bastiladons, and 1 of them Mazdamundi, not on Slack, just Mazdamundi on his floating chair, hover chair, if you may, with Apotheosis, Net of Amantalk, and Ruination of Cities, Banishment, just a lot of area of effect spells. But I don't know how this is gonna fare, because the Apotheosis doesn't really have any good targets. Like, if Mazdamundi is on his Stagadon, maybe he can just kind of pummel stuff, but not on a Stagadon. Like, what are you gonna heal? Bastiladons? But I guess you can heal Temple Gods, who are gonna box up for sure, but they're also gonna be vulnerable to the Peasant Archer Fire with 85 armor and only bronze shields. So not the tankiest unit against spam of arrows, but we shall see. As we do have 3 Pterodon Riders in the skies, their rock drops can do devastating damage to any densely packed archer infantry. Now the 3 Saurus Spears, 2 of them are regular ones, but 1 of them is the Legion of Chocolate, providing some nice missile resistance of 40% with the Shield of Chocolate. But yeah, Bastiladon's one with Ref Crystal, 1 of them the Arc of Sotak, but I don't know how that is gonna do against the Royal Hippogriff Knight and Outbreak plus the healing from the Damsel. So let's see. Now the Grail Guardians are there, one unit of them in total, and 2 questing knights who will definitely struggle against a spear and halberd box, and then a whole line of men at arms and all that. We talked about them already, and let's see. I guess its current year is embracing his extreme meme team roots. Indeed, he is a member of the clan Extreme Meme team, and they have been memeing on halberds for the longest of times. But seeing a halberd in a high octane replay, not high octane replay, but a high in a competitive multiplayer tournament, that is gonna be a spicy match for sure. Especially against a cavalry faction. Now, will the halberds emerge victorious against units that they are traditionally good against, or will the Bretonnians continue to just roll over everything with their Grail chariots? Now we shall see. We shall discover the truth in a shortly. Yeah. Anyways, we shall see. Yeah, Pterodon Riders already up. Yeah, like the Lizard box and the Lizard anti-large box is already up, just waiting for both sides to just get ready and start going. And then yeah. But I do think that the Saurus, the Temple Guardians, all the Saurus infantry will just kind of just push back all those men at arms. The problem is the archers that can do good damage to both Mazdamundi and the Temple Gods from afar. Now, it's not going to be great damage against the Temple Gods, but with the volume of fire, they can do good damage over time for sure. The Pterodon Riders are most certainly gonna kite, but they are not as fast as... Yeah, they are not as fast as Outbreak, actually. But with poison helping them, they should be doing just fine, because their missiles do cost poison, so they will slow down anything that tries to pursue them, including the Royal Hippogriffs, who are at the same speed as the Pterodons and Outbreak himself. Now, the Bretonnians are actually trying to just slightly shift their formations, while the Halberd Box are just pushing up, are just trying to push up as fast as possible and get into melee combat. But the Bretonnians are just gonna try to do some encirclement here, avoiding combat slightly while their units are approaching their enemy's territory. Especially, this might be a dangerous move because they are gonna receive shots from any poison darts nearby. However, some of these Pterodons, oh no, Outbreak was trying to pursue the Pterodons, but being hit by poison darts, they are being pushed back. Mazdamundi and the two Bastiladons are receiving some archer fire, while the Pterodon Riders are chipping away the health of Outbreak. And with enough time, they can whittle down single entities, even with high armor, but the archers are not going to give them time. They are going to just pour their arrows into the right targets. It seems that they are not targeting the Pterodon really, which they should, because that's like one of the more effective units for these archers. Pterodons are moving in, probably trying to set up a rock drop, and once they drop their rocks, those... Ooh, this is gonna be devastating. Wait, they need to drop their rocks now, come on. And they are dropping, and oof, look at the damage on the... It's quite disgusting, the rock drops. But some of the Pterodons are dropping due to the pressure from Outbreak. The Borderloop peasants are moving in, while the Star Chamber Guardians have taken some noticeable damage. Mazdamundi needs to drop his spells as well. But right now, some of these Pterodons have been left idle, and this is a massive mistake for its current year, and he is paying dearly for this mistake. Stuff are moving in. Grail Guardians hitting up the rear of the anti-large formation, now being stuck in a bunch of Saurus spears being tied down by now of Amentok, but the problem is that they're not hit by the halberds and only by the spears that are non-armor piercing. So they did a lot of damage to the spears, but then only the Bastiladon with the poison vortex did much damage. And at the back there, the Pterodons have paid dearly for their mistake. Ooh, all three Pterodons are destroyed. One of them completely gone, one of them shattered on the far side, and another one will be chased down by Outbreak and the Grail Knights. The Grail Cavalry, not the Knights, but they are indeed the Hippogriff Knights. And now all these single entities and everything are just being targeted by the archers so far. Now, a Ruination of Cities are doing some really good damage against the Questing Knights, but most of the archers are still online. Yes, some of them are wavering, but mostly online. And the peasants are kind of just like waves breaking upon boulders, smashing into the rocks on the side and breaks apart. But that is not gonna help the... That's not gonna be helping the Howard Box much. Now, Peasant Bowls continue to be wrecked by the spells, but without the Pterodon Riders, a little bit of reckless use of the Pterodons there. Rock Drop plus a charge can do some good damage and rout off Peasant Archers, but that opened them up to a charge from the Royal Hippogriffs, the real killer in this Bretonnian build, and they have been suffering. And without the mobility to pressure the Peasant Bows, they are just free to kind of sit back and chip away the health of all these lizard units. And the Grail Cavalry are sure as hell gonna just cycle charge everything to death here. And especially the Star Chamber Guardians taking some noticeable damage here. Apotheosis keeping their health high. And if you combine the Apotheosis with a bit of a Breath Crystal, they can just receive a lot of healing to just even keeping up their unit models even. But right now, Outbreak is just kind of walking around, being unstoppable. Same goes for the Grail Guardian Cavalry here, just running straight into a bunch of temple gods. The temple gods are fighting back hard. They do have more mass than than normal human infantry, so they can stand there and fight, chipping away the health of the Grail Guardians, while in the middle there, Albrecht has been tied down alongside the questing knights here. And in the middle of a whole lot of halberds, they are not going to enjoy this for sure. Grail Guardians have been kind of forgotten a little too long in the middle of a bunch of temple gods. Same goes for the Royal Hippogriff Knights, both suffering a lot of damage, but that is fine because the Life Damsel is going to be there and heal everything back up. While the halberds, the Star Chamber Guardians, despite the Shield of Chakra, trying to mitigate all those incoming archer fire, it's not enough to keep their HP high, especially when there's like stuff swarming their position right now. The Bastiladon Arc of Sotak is now low on health. Now the Wrath Crystal is being targeted by multiple archers, and the lizards are running thin on their infantry count. A lot of their temple gods are rather tattered, down to less than half health, slightly more than half health, but not far from less than half health either. Legion of Chakra is holding firm with a lot of HP left. Apotheosis is being dumped onto the Star Chamber Guardians, but Outbreak is here with the support of Questing Knights, just delivering a smashing rear charge. I said smashing, but that's actually not that impressive, and they took a lot of damage in return as well. And yeah, the archer fire is just really taking a heavy toll on the Lizardmen infantry right now. At least the peasant front lines have been mostly dispatched, and spears are holding firm even with the questing knights trying to charge in with those lance formation. They are holding. They're taking some noticeable charge impact damage. You can see that health drop right there is pretty big, but they will hit back hard, and the questing knights will be dropping with only one Grail Cavalry and I guess the Hippogriff Cavalry. Things are still kind of manageable for the Lizardmen right here, instead of being rolled over entirely by everything else. But the Royal Hippogriff Knights are suffering, slowly being whittled down with their HP. Over here, the Questing Knights are being tied down by Gnat of Amentok, single targeted version, and the Star Chamber Guardians plus more Temple Gods are flooding in to finish the job, just trying to make sure they are not gonna Psycho Charge anymore. Wrath Crystal, no, this is the Arc of Sotak being heavily targeted by everything, being one of the more threatening units against the Grail Cavalry due to the Arc of Sotak Poison Aura, Poison Vortex. But right now, Mazdamundi is in big trouble, being surrounded by Grail Cavalry and questing Royal Hippogriff Knights. He is trying to heal back up the surrounding Temple Gods and keep them in the fight, just so they can support against the Bretonnian Cavalry for a bit more. But things are looking quite dicey right now, as he is isolated against a lot of anti-large attacks. Outbreak, especially with his Braid of Borderloo, is granting a damage boost to surrounding units. But perhaps, wait, what the... Perhaps the archers are actually getting routed. I assume Mazdamundi's, there were some additional damage from the Mazdamundi's banishment and ruination of cities. So all the archers are actually gone right now, and things are suddenly looking really nice for the Lizardmen. With Gnat of Amentok keeping those Royal Hippogriff Knights on the ground, preventing them from cycle charging, and the anti-large armor-piercing halberds are all flooding in. Now the Wrath Crystal is being targeted by a lot of Bretonnian cap charge, but the Royal Hippogriff Knights are not long for this world, down to their last bit of their HP, and yeah, this is surprising. This is actually slightly surprising here, as the halberd box managed to survive the onslaught, and the peasant archers have all ran out of ammo through the sheer healing from Apotheosis and Wrath Crystal, and also more importantly Legion of Chakra using those Shield of Chakra to hold tight. That plus 40% missile resistance, man, and stacked up with the ward save and like all the scaly skin. So that means 15% scaly skin, 20% 35. That's 35% resistance against missiles, and plus 40% from the Shield of Chakra. That's 75% of resistance against missiles. So yeah, these units are surprisingly tanky against enemy missiles now. Some of them even have shield and all, so a lot of that damage have just been entirely blocked by the spam of missile resistance and ward saves. A little bit more Earth Blood from the Life Damsel here, trying to top up those Grail Cavalry, but right now, things are looking rather dicey for the Bretonnians as they ran out of infantry support. They have to charge in with all the cavalry, but once they charge in, they will just get hacked down by the anti-large units or being charged by armor-piercing units. So, yeah, things are looking quite dicey for Bretonnian now. Questing Knights are still charging, holding firm, but they're still getting poisoned, being shot by the blow dots from the Bastiladons here. While the Temple Gods are being constantly healed with a bit of apotheosis there. Legion of Chakwa being charged by a concentration of Grail Cavalry, but more Saurus Spears are here to support, and some of these units are just gonna get slowly killed off. Oh wait, shit. This build can stack the missile resistance on Bastiladons to a maximum of 85% because Lord Mazdamundi also has the lore of... Wait, where's the lore of high passive? Wait, he didn't bring any passive spells? I mean, like, he didn't bring any spell passive. Never mind. Like, if you bring the Shield of Safri, then you can have another 10% of ward save. But otherwise, that's not here. And Questing Knights running down some scattered Temple Gods, but right now, honestly, there's not much the Bretonnians can do. So, Central Scrutinizer will be forfeiting the battle, as the last of the Grail Cavalry are all being slowly dragged down. And yeah, Lizardmen actually pulling this battle back against one of the most meta factions right now, with an interesting Halberd build. Surprise, surprise, the Halberds did really well here. Two of them earned back. Yeah, all of them earned back their worth, really. And the Spears also did really well, earning back their worth, and then some more. Legion of Chakwa, definitely one of the MVPs of this game here. Not only have solid melee stats, great anti-large weapon strength, but also that Shield of Chakwa, mitigating all that damage from the Peasant Bows, plus the healing from the Bastiladon and Lord Mazdamundi dropping that Shield of the Old Ones, and also Apotheosis as well. Just keeping all those halberds alive even till the late game, and the questing knights and Grail Cavalry simply cannot drag down everything here. Plus, the Saurus infantry has slightly more mass than the human factions, spears and whatnot. So they actually managed to stand firm against the Grail Cavalry, then using the Net of Emmentalk to pin down those poor Grail Cavalry, then the pin down Grail Cavalry or Questing Knights, and then the Star Chamber Guardians and Spears were able to just follow up and drag down those Knights. The Pterodon setback was great in the beginning, but it's through the sheer tenacity of the Saurus, the loyalty to the Old Ones, their stubborn enforcement of the Great Plan. They held out with, of course, with healing support, but overall pretty solid job. Ark of Sotak also did some good damage with the Vortex, while on the other side there, Grail Cavalry did a lot of damage overall, but not so much for the Questing Knights. They have not been performing too well in this current patch. So as for the Peasants, they use up most of their ammo, probably all of their, like some of them use up all of their ammo, but because of all those resistance stacking, their performance was actually rather limited, despite shooting at some of the bigger units that they can easily hit. And well, peasants are peasants. They just get beaten back by Saurus, no questions asked. And yeah, Outbreak did some good damage, but that's about it. Interesting build. GG to its current year for pulling this one back. And we'll be moving on to the fourth game. Oh boy, that was a spicy build from its current year for sure. Sorry you guys have to watch that. No, it's good. It's actually a really interesting build. I never thought about using Halberd box against the Bretonnians, simply because everything just got ran over, Halberds or not. But if there's a Net of Emmentalk limiting their charge, preventing them from reaccelerating and allowing those Halberds to just drag them down in close quarters combat, then this Halberd box might actually be very viable, just as its current year showcasing. Now we're moving on to the fourth battle, so we're just gonna have to wait for them to do some picks and bans. But yeah. Alright. Okay, so Central Scrutinizer banning High Elves, Dark Elves, and Slaanesh picking Empire. Of course he's gonna pick Empire. Oh, right. It's current year ban Cathay first. So Central Scrutinizer went ban High Elves, Dark Elves, Slaanesh. We're still not seeing Hellebron in the fourth battle. Picking Empire though, this is a strong faction for Central Scrutinizer as far as I know. So this is gonna be a tight match for the two players. Now we're still on match point since Central Scrutinizer did have 2 wins. While its current year clawed back a victory with the Halberd build, which is rather interesting. It's not like it's a it's a box build dragging on the battle a bit, but I do find it fascinating that Halberd box works against Bretonnians. That's something I did not expect to work, because Grail Cavalry usually can just run through boxes no problem at all, which is why Cathay struggles so much against Bretonnia. But yeah, we shall see what happens in the next battle. Wait, shit, is that? No, it's still Lizardman. So Empire versus something. Now, as far as I know, its current year has an inclination to use lady characters. Like, Hellebron is definitely one of his all-time favorite. Morathli as well. But like among Tomb Kings, he definitely is a big advocate of High Queen Khalida. So we've already seen Valkyria being used today. We won't see Dark Elves, High Elves. Maybe we will see a lady from the Wood Elves. I don't know. But Wood Elves is not great against Empire, so I don't think. Also, Wood Elves is. Wait, Wood Elves? It's actually Wood Elves. Oh god, it's Wood Elves. It's Wood Elves. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Interesting. It is indeed Wood Elves. Yeah. I thought like Wood Elves has been really weak in the current meta, so I don't expect him to actually use it, considering he's kind of on a back foot right now, and he needs to win this for sure to have a chance to move on to a 5th game and then decide the match there. But Wood Elves, we're seeing Wood Elves, so yeah. Now the Wood Elves indeed has quite a few ladies in their roster, in their Lord roster. So Drycha is a lady, but she isn't like humanoid. I mean, she's humanoid, but she isn't close enough to like a human. So I'm thinking, so it's Sisters of the Twilight, Spellweaver, and we have the Glade Lord, the Glade Lady. Now I don't know which one he's gonna pick. He might also go for the guys, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, we will see. Like, traditionally, the Wood Elves aren't great dealing with heavy cavalry. And the Empire are very good at fielding heavy cavalry. They have so many heavy cavalry options, really. I mean, pretty much their entire melee cavalry roster are heavy cavalry. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Empire Knights, Reichsguard, the Knights of Blazing Sun, and Hippogriff, Demigryph Knights. All are pretty strong heavy cavalry and can run over the... and can be a great threat against the Wood Elves, light cav, light infantry, and archers. If given the right support, and Empire does have the right support of fire, a lot of fire damage. Artillery has fire damage. Their mage has they have the Lore of Fire. They have mortars and tons of stuff. Like even Knights of Blazing Sun has fire damage. So the Wood Elves might be in a bit of pickle with this matchup. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but I don't think it's gonna be great for the Wood Elves for sure. Like, as much as I want a 5th match, I feel like this is gonna be rough. It's current year says this might also be the worst build he's ever brought. Okay, I don't want to say. Oh god, I don't want to. I want a 5th game, but we might have to end on the 4th, unless it's current year starts pulling some miracles and like fucks over the heavy cavalry or some shit. I don't know. The extreme meme team is like the whole extreme meme team. The whole extreme meme team gimmick is going hard on this one, because right now we're seeing a melee cavalry rush with the Enigmas of Gyren. Now I'm not against the use of Zolts. I love Zolts, and the Zolts have been great. I love using Zolts. They have been great with their healing and their flesh to stone. But right now the Empire doesn't really care, I think. And yeah, okay, so and then, oh god, I hate this map. It's just horrible for artillery, but otherwise there's no artillery, so this doesn't really matter. So army belts, Central Scrutinizer going for his proud Empire army. A front line of spears, just 5 spears, backed up by 5 huntsmen. A lot of anti-large missiles, and definitely gonna make short work of. I am already looking at a horrible future for the Wood Elves here. Those huntsmen will just shred through the Great Stag Knights and Glade Riders and all that. The Wild Hunters of Kurtis is gonna die a horrible death as well. Anyways, 5 huntsmen, 5 cavalry in general. Yep, 3 Empire Knights and 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun, who does have spell resistance. Doesn't really matter anyways, because the Wood Elves didn't bring any damaging spells. For the leadership, we have a Bright Wizard coming in with only Burning Hand to roast those Dryad frontline, which, well, unfortunately the Wood Elves do have. Even without Dryad frontline, anything else on the Wood Elf side would be very susceptible to... Any other infantry on the Wood Elf side would be very susceptible to the Burning Head. Volkmar the Grim, you don't really see him, but in this instance, with his missile resistance and regeneration, he is pretty good. Plus, he can just roll through like any infantry and run down archers. Now, Banishment, he also has Banishment, but with no battle prayers. He does have Jade Griffin. And that's it for the Empire army build. On the other side, for the Wood Elves, a front line of Dryads, supported by a whole lot of cavalry, but not that many. 5 units of cavalry, 2 Glade Riders, 2 Great Stag Knights, and a single Wild Hunters of Kurnis. Leading the army, we have... What? Okay, we have... Oh wait, we still have some stuff in here. Spellsinger of Life coming in with Earthblood. Awakening of the Word, interesting. Probably using it for the slow effect, or just trying to blast archers. Enigmas of Gyren, coming in with Flesh to Stone and Regrowth, and also a Glade Lord with Prayer of Anaphrema and Arrow of Kurnis on her Great Eagle. And that's it for the army builds. Now let's just wait for both armies to ready up and get the battle started. It's 2-1 so far. And Central Scrutinizer bringing a really strong anti-Wood Elf build. I haven't seen this matchup since months ago, I think. It's current year, bringing a rather memey build, a front line of Dryads and a ton of melee cavalry. I do am surprised that there is no... Yeah, there's no melee Glade Lord on the field. Instead, he went for the Glade Lady. I guess he might want to just use the Prayer of Anathema to limit the enemy's movement, but I don't know. Like, it also might just be better for the melee Glade Lord to be on the field and use the Helm of Discord to breach enemy defenses faster with the melee stat debuffs. Anyways, I think one of them has readied up. We're waiting for more to ready up, and we can start the battle. Either ways, we're kind of waiting for now. Okay, battle has started. We are moving in. Is Volkmar hidden? No, he's not hidden. Like, it's kind of hard to hide on a two-story tall is that 2-story tall? Yeah, 2-story tall wagon. It's hard to hide. But yeah, it's gonna just run straight into the Dryads and should do some good damage on the charge. You can see that a few units are getting hit and taking some damage. Huntsmen are unloading on top of these. Oh, poor Glade Riders. They are subjected to the anti-large bonus and taking a lot of damage. While the Empire Knights will just charge into the Unbraced Dryads, who are trying to get into melee range as soon as possible, but Central Scrutinizer doing really well with those charges. Getting a cheeky charge and getting some good damage done on the Dryads and quickly pull back. But then the Glade Riders are following up, who are eating a ton of Huntsman fire, and they are getting shredded. In the forest, their Empire Knights being countercharged by the Wild Hunters of Goodness and taking substantial damage, but there's nothing threatening the Huntsmen so far. Like, a lot of these units are just getting shredded. A little bit of a blast from the Awakening of the Wood doing some very minor damage. It's just not the great in terms of damage, but either ways, the Knights of Blazing Sun are persuaded to fall back due to the so much armor piercing and anti-large in the presence. Yeah, Enigmas of Gyran receiving that Flesh to Stone plus their innate missile resistance, they should be able to tank out damage just fine, but unfortunately the Great Stag Knights are targeted right now, and they are not protected by the Flesh to Stone. On the other side there, the front line of the Empire is crumbling. Dryads are shredding through Empire State troops just fine, but the Empire Knights and the Empire Heavy Cavalry in general has successfully tied down the Wood Elf Cavalry, and their high impact charge damage plus the anti-large from the spears are doing a heavy number on the Wood Elf Light Cav. The state troops though being entirely shredded by the Dryads and all that, it's not great for the Empire, but right now the Huntsmen are falling back and doing some very solid kiting, breaking some of these Great Stag Knights already with alongside the presence of Volkmar the Great, who does have terror. And the Knights of Blazing Sun might just be able to finish them off, but right now Enigmas of Gyran has been surrounding Volkmar and beating him down. While the back there, the Dryads actually, with the lack of state troops stopping them, they are running through the Empire formations and are now threatening the Huntsmen, but Huntsmen can shoot while moving, so they are still dishing out damage against enemy units. The Enemies of Gyran needs a regrowth, but they ran out. And yeah, things are looking quite rough for the Wood Elves so far, as the Huntsmen are now being secured and will be regrouping and firing at the same time. Spellsinger even herself jumps into combat, trying to tie down all those Huntsmen. And yeah, it's been successful for one instance, but the rest of the Wood Elf army are just kind of crumbling apart. Glade Lord has taken some damage, and some Glade Riders have returned, but they might not be able to shut down the Huntsmen in time here. But a lot of Huntsmen has been compromised, at least this is going quite well for the Wood Elves. The thing is, can they last till every Huntsman is shut down and eventually whittle down Volkmar the Grim? We shall see. Enigmas of Gyran are still fighting, and the Spellsinger of Life should still have plenty of healing left. We didn't really see that much spell cast so far, but also that might just be because we can't really see spell cast due to this awkward lighting. And yeah, the Huntsman has been compromised so far, but some of them has returned. The rest of the Wood Elf Cavalry really needs to start shutting all of them down, but they do have a little bit of stalking ability, so not every huntsman can be seen right now, and whichever ones that can't be seen has regrouped and will be returned and firing. But the Dryads are continuously to chase them down, doing some really good work here. It's current year pressuring, just keep pressuring the huntsmen even if they're routed, and make sure they never come back. And then the Enigmas of Gyren will be going after Volkmar Grim here. Great Stag Knights have returned, but a charge from the Empire Knights will be breaking them apart. More huntsmen are rushing in to provide that fire support. And Enigmas of Gyren with only 60 armor are feeling the pain from the... They're definitely feeling the pain from the anti-large missiles, but the Enigmas of Gyren with a Flesh to Stone stabilizing the HP loss with the huntsmen continuously being pressured. I feel like at this point the Glade Lord might need to just go into melee combat even just to deal with the huntsmen. But some huntsmen has been chased off by the Dryads, and the Enigmas of Gyren actually survived just fine for now, beating down the Empire Knights and putting Volkmar Grim to a rather low HP right now. But more huntsmen have returned. Dryads are now being chased off while the huntsmen are shooting at the Enigmas of Gyren. They do have a bit of missile resistance as 25% and mitigating a bit of that incoming damage. A bit of a burning hand going down the line on the Dryads and will be finishing them off. Unfortunately, that burnt leadership is just too much for these tattered Dryads. And now the Wood Elves have ran out of options to shut down all those huntsmen. There are still 2 huntsmen on the field ready to shoot, but there's only 1 Dryad on the field, and it's way far back over there. Now the Enigmas of Gyren will have to opt into the melee fight against the huntsmen, just trying to push them back, but Volkmar Grim and a lot of Empire Cavalry are rushing in to just tie them down. And they need some healing right now, right here, right now, because they're running. Why are you going for it? Oh no, the Awakening of the Wood. I guess that also come in with a bit of passive heals, but that is not gonna be enough to save the day. Dryads are beating back Empire state troops, but balance of power is falling further to the advantage of the Empire right now. The Glade Lord has been consistently chipping away the health of Volkmar Grim, but she only did very limited damage, 600 gold worth of damage value, and the Dryads are being slowly but surely whittled down by the swarm of Empire Knights, and the Huntsmen are also chipping away the health of the Glade Lord. Now the Empire Knights over here are trying to rush over to support this fight, and but at least the Glade Lord has managed to get rid of the can she be fast enough to get out of there and go back into the skies? She is taking fire from the Huntsman, but at least she goes back into the skies, and the missile resistance on her would be able to help her tank a little bit. Help tank a little bit of that damage. Now she's back into hunting down Volkmar Grim, even dropping down onto the ground. Just try to chase him down, but she's not making contact. Very unfortunate, while the Huntsmen are just doing damage to him. While the Spellsinger of Life have been caught by a bunch of spears, and this is not going to end well for her as she is losing a lot of HP, and that might just spell the end of the Wood Elf army. It's definitely a close game for sure. If there is other options here to snipe out Volkmar Grim, then I do believe that Wood Elves would have the game, but using Enigmas of Gyren instead of the regular results might be the downfall of the Wood Elves right now, because the Great Stag Knights, both of them did okay damage. This one probably earned back their worth. This one did not. The armor piercing were great though, and the Hunters of Kurnus also did well. Did some pretty damn good damage, honestly, but unfortunately, just not quite enough to carry the game. Enigmas of Gyren. Okay, never mind. They are a good pick. Okay, I take back what I said. They are a pretty good pick. It's just that there's not enough width to deal with all those state troops. The Dryads pushed hard, but in the end, having so many Huntsmen on the field, 2 of them survived till the end, and they win the game for the Wood Elf. They win the game for the Empire, as they basically shut down all these Glade Riders and dealt enough damage against the Stag Knight and the rest of the Wood Elf Cavalry. Even the Enigmas of Gyren, without Flesh to Stone to mitigate the damage, they only have like 2 casts of that. So yeah, that basically spelled the end of the Zotes, and the Awakening of the Wood might just be a mistake. Probably a regrowth would be better just to keep the Enigmas healthy. If the Enigmas stayed till the late game, stayed alive a little longer, perhaps with the help of regrowth or more flesh to stone from the spell singer, then maybe the Glade Lord will be able to just support fights in general and win the game or something. But yeah, unfortunately this is not the case, and the Wood Elves have been overwhelmed by the numbers of the Empire. With the Knights of Blazing Sun, actually 3 of those are Knights of Blazing Sun, doing really well in their charge. 1,400 gold, 1,400 gold. They cost like what, 1,100 gold? So yeah, good stuff. Or what was it, 1,200 gold? I kind of forgot. I never bring Knights of Blazing Sun, but I know that Empire Knights are 850 though. But yeah, Empire Knights doing really well as well. One of them not so much, the others. Just run down a lot of the light armored Wood Elf troops, and Huntsman did well overall. Like 3 of them got compromised by Dryads and whatnot, but other than that, the 2 that survived earned back their worth. While the rest of the army, the state troops, this one probably dragged down the spell singer, and the other also did an okay job, I suppose. Bright Wizard did some meh damage. There's not a lot of targets for them to roast, and Volkmar the Grim is a shitty combatant. He's just good at tanking, but there's not a lot of damage for it to tank right now. There's no missiles on the field. He did tank a lot of damage from the Enigmas of Gyrin, preventing them to move on to other targets. I do give him that, but other than that, he's not great. He's not great. But yeah, that's it for the armies. That's it for today's battle. GG to both Central Scrutinizer and its current year. A really good performance from both players. I hope you all enjoyed the battle as well. Let me just check the chat, and yeah, I can't believe that almost worked. Hey, there's look, there are Zolts in there. Zolts are good, and they did carry you the game. So yeah, if there are Zolts, then yeah, it almost worked. Yeah, and well played to both its current year and Scrut, and thanks for the invitation to host this Best of 5. That was but yeah, thanks BBB for that invitation to host this Best of 5, and yeah, I hope I can bring you more battles in future. See you all in the next video, which will be uploaded tomorrow. Yeah, have a good evening, night, afternoon, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Yeah, Tactical Lich signing out.